there, it's fine. Okay. So, can we shout out what percentage of the newspaper was filled with bad news?
46% was...
Exactly 46%. Okay. We'll come to that. Okay, Gulf News. All right, over here.
It would be about 70%.
70%, yeah. Anyone else?
This is 90%.
90%. Oh yeah, but that's... No, I'm not talking about the supplements. I'm talking about the main newspapers. Over here? Approximate. 70-80%, yeah. When I've done these workshops in the past, it always is around 70-80, sometimes even 90% of the newspapers. Sorry? 2/3 of the newspapers, yeah, that's pretty normal. So, what's your name? Natalie, can you share with us some of the types of negative news you came across?
Great pleasure. The news is bad actually. The first one is the war. The second one are diseases. The next one are murders, assaults, accidents, fire victims, school bullying, and climate threats.
Okay, so is that more or less typical of the kind of bad news? Was there any other type of bad news you came across? It's usually that, isn't it? It's wars, financial, yeah. Recession, yeah. Terrorist attacks, yeah. Sorry? Attacks, yeah, war, border attacks, wars, okay, yeah. So, recession, hijacking, yeah. So this is fairly typical of what you see in your average newspaper or when you watch CNN, BBC, Fox News or whatever. It's always wars, hijacking, border attacks, financial recession, economy is doing badly, unemployment, hijackings, rapes, murders. It's just the same old news. How does this impact the thinking of our children? Now, the lady here asked me, what difference does it make for students coming across this bad news? So, yeah, it could be that it makes them more aggressive. If they are told every single day that the world is getting worse, that there is nothing good in the world, then there is no motivation for them to do anything good. Where's the inspiration, exactly? Yeah, it makes them feel pessimistic. However, when you share with them that the world is actually getting better and that we shouldn't base our opinions just on these newspapers. The newspapers don't print the good news. Why? Good news doesn't sell, exactly. And there is a biological reason for that as well. So biology teachers, if you know about the human brain, we have a part of our brain called the amygdala at the back. And every time there is bad news, that part of the brain is activated. And remember that our brain is designed to help us survive out there in the wild, right? So every time there's a threat from a snake or a lion or some sort of predator, our brain is finely tuned to look out for danger, right? And so these newspapers, they manipulate that part of our brain. So when you look at these mainstream channels, it's always in bright red, isn't it? Breaking news, floods, car crash, accidents, terrorist attacks, and so on. And why are they doing that? Because they want you to focus on their news channel and they don't want you to change to some other news channel. So they're always focusing on bad news because it captures the attention of our brain. But as we saw in the previous video, the world is actually getting better. Murder rates are down, the number of wars is at its lowest, people are living longer, healthier, wealthier, safer lives than at any point in the history of our species. So why is it important for us to share this with young people? This message of the world is not getting worse, it's actually getting better.
To help them become more optimistic.
To help them become more optimistic. But is it good just to be optimistic? Or is it good to be
Feel safe.
Exactly. So it's not enough just to be optimistic, but it's important to look at ways to actually resolve some of these problems and base your optimism on reason and evidence. All right, so let's move on to the next activity. We're going to have a quick debate. based on the video you watched and based on the newspaper reports, based on this conversation we've just had, have a quick discussion with the person next to you on whether intelligent optimism is a good idea or a bad idea, and why, right? So this whole message of intelligent optimism, is it good or bad? Why? So just have a quick conversation with the people around you. So, is it a dangerous idea? Is it an idea we should share with students or not?
We should.
But why?
When you're optimistic, you can find ways out to whatever solve problems are, solve problems.
Yeah.
But being intelligent is like you're practical when you're thinking about it.
Right.
So according to us, it's not a dangerous idea.
Yeah. And also when you have an optimistic view, it makes you want to go out and have a positive impact on the world around you.
And if we are optimistic, we keep on trying
Yeah.
to achieve it.
Exactly.
If we ourselves are pessimistic, then we'll just try and leave it so that
Yeah.
not get.
Exactly. And also, if you're pessimistic, then every time you hear a piece of bad news or negative news, that impacts you, and it just reinforces your negative psyche.
At the same time, you have to be based in reality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Children in Dubai are not in reality. So
Yeah. It's
perfect.
yeah. It's a bubble. There's no poverty. There's no old people.
Poverty is there, but you can't see it.
You can't see it. It's out there in Solapur. There's no old people. There's no handicapped people. There's no blind people. You don't see any of these.
Even if they are, they have so much facilities that we don't feel.
Yeah. And so.
We got the definition of intelligence and optimism and
Okay, we got to move on because we're running out of time. But before we move to the next task, can we quickly share some of the things that we discussed? Let's start with that group over there. What did you discuss? You don't have to stand. You can sit. Yeah.
But they won't see.
Oh, okay.
Everybody should be positive. So what we have discussed, we have tried to see the definition of the intelligence, optimism, and then combining them together. It's not a dangerous idea. Everybody, including the students, should be positive. It should be the synthesis of moral values, and intelligence means to understand what is good and what is bad. And if you can take something positive from something negative, that means you are optimistic. Then you're trying to adjust to the world, and you have the urge of changing the world, not in a negative but in a positive way, where the students feel that you are a part of it, you feel responsible, and when you go to the class, you interpret every negative idea in a positive way. That's what we have discussed.
Excellent, I love that. Bravo, well done. I'm very impressed. Sorry. Over here, what did you discuss?
We were saying that we think that teaching explicitly intelligent optimism is a really good idea, because we think that at the moment children are exposed every day, every day to all of the media that we're talking about here, and so many negative things that in the past, before communication was so frequent and so kind of, there all the time, children wouldn't have known about everything that was going on in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So if we can kind of take a step back and teach them about this intelligent optimism from a much broader perspective than their day-to-day lives,
right,
hopefully they can feel a bit more,
yeah,
as we say, optimistic about the future.
Yeah.
Based on, I guess, the kind of patterns so far and the fact that things have got better.
Exactly. Amazing. I love it. Very good. And last, anyone from here? Any point you'd like to share? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, intelligent optimism is to be optimistic, as the definition of optimism everybody knows. I'm not going into that. With that intelligent component, that means with reason.
Exactly.
Because I think that you are optimistic in a reasonable sort of way. You will always achieve what you have gone out to achieve. Because positive people are always more motivated. They are hardworking. They are the ones who are successful in life, and we would like our children to be such positive people who are goal-oriented and who are out there to change the world. Again, positive people readily accept their mistakes and they forgive others. So one bad instance or a bad happening doesn't change their entire outlook on life. They're able to bounce back and do even better and move forward.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's an excellent summary. Most people when they hear the expression "the world is getting better," they mistake the word "better" for perfect. They hear the world is perfect. No, the world is not perfect, but it's getting better. If you learn history, if you learn about how horrible human life was in the past, human society was in the past, and you compare it to today, it has got so much better. And it will continue to get better. But it's never going to be perfect, because there's always room for improvement. So that's the big takeaway. Let's wind up. Yeah?
So, we're giving this book to you to read.
Oh, just let me finish and I'll come. So, very quickly, we don't have time, but I'll just go through this. What do you think when you hear this? Humans are wicked and evil and a threat to the planet. If someone said that to you, how would you respond? Anyone?
True.
It's true. Exactly. There are some humans who are wicked and there are some humans who are a threat to the planet, but not all of us. Are you all wicked? You're all doing amazing things. You're teachers. You're part of the most noble profession. You're doing wonderful things. And we are the majority, to be honest. If you look at the number of criminals in the prisons, it's less than 0.5% of the entire population in any society. Most of the people are good, hardworking, sincere people. It's only a very small minority who do terrible things. The future of the human species is bleak or negative or sad or unhappy. I, for one, am very excited about the future. I think amazing things are going to be happening in our lifetimes, and I'm very excited for the future. So let's end with a video. Does anyone know Jason Silva? Yes. Jason Silva is the host of Brain Games, Nat Geo's highest rated show in its history. But he also does these short 3-minute videos called Shots of Awe, in which he talks about the future, technology, science, literature, poetry, philosophy. He just fuses everything. And in this 3-minute video, he talks about how things are not all that bad. This volume is gone. All right.
subtle, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have to wrap up. I'm very sorry. Yeah, come in. Thank you very much, ladies. If you can, KHD wants you to fill in that form, so if you could please fill in that form. Thank you.